Back to Jamin's Daily, episode 21. I feel like, folks, we hit the milestone of 20. So I feel like episode 21 is kind of like one of those, like, no one remembers when you turn 22. You don't remember 31. You don't remember turning 41. Those years, they get overlooked because you're busy celebrating your 40th birthday or your 30th birthday or your 21st birthday. So who's going to remember episode 21? I don't know. Maybe. Hopefully you will. We'll find out because we're going to look into a couple things, follow up on some topics that we've talked about in the past, and have a good time. So let's start off with Dr. Dre. We talked about how he's going through a divorce, and his wife is, trying to get as much as she can, claiming things. And what I wanted to add today was that she is claiming now that Dr. Dre did not file he didn't get his trademark for his name, like Dr. Dre and the Chronic. Wasn't awarded a trademark until like 1997. By then they were already married. So she's claiming like 50% ownership of those trademarks and related monies, assets, or whatever. So now the question is, what the heck took Dr. Dre so long? Where was his business manager when he was like, hey, I'm fixing to get married? Where was his business manager and lawyers then? They were like, well, hey, man, have you thought about this? And apparently nobody told him. Or they did, and he was too busy doing something else. So now Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young, files lawsuit claiming she co-owns trademark to his name. In court documents obtained by People, Young, who's 50 years old, claimed that Dre, born Andre Romel Young. I bet you a lot of people don't know Dr. Dre's full name. It's Andre Romel Young. Secretly transferred valuable trademarks they jointly owned, both the name Dr. Dre as well as his hit album, The Chronic, after he allegedly kicked her out of their home in April. In this lawsuit, his ex-wife alleges that shortly after being forced to leave their home, Dre, who's 55, registered a new holding company and then began transferring the highly valuable trademarks, misrepresenting himself as the sole owner. So this whole thing goes on to, again, she's claiming ownership, half ownership of basically him, because Dr. Dre's, value is basically he himself as well. So it's got to be frustrating when somebody like thinks they own you in that way, kind of. It says here, it is just inequitable and unjust for Dre to retain ownership of the trademarks and the value they hold without paying Nicole or allowing her to maintain her equal ownership. Young is seeking damages in the amount to be determined. So I don't know. I think it could have been avoided, Dr. Dre, if you had if you would have done other things. Now it's going to cost them a fortune. They're going to settle. I don't know. Maybe they won't, because he may have made that mistake, and now she is entitled to half of it. And now he's just going to have to pay up. He's going to have to pay up. Y'all remember, moving on. Did you ever watch the show, ladies and gentlemen? It was that show, Flip or Flop. I think it was called Flip or Flop on, I don't know if it was TLC I think it was on TLC, with this guy named Tarek and his wife Christina, and they would go, good looking couple, they would flip houses, they get divorced, but then they still do the show, and then she gets remarried. Now she's getting divorced again. So it's in the news. And apparently, when Tarek found out that his ex-wife is getting divorced, he had a reaction that is so sad, according to the interwebs. It says here, according to an unnamed source. Those are my favorite sources, by the way. The anonymous type and the unnamed type. We hear about that all the time now. I feel like, isn't it kind of suspicious that more and more than of the so-called news is coming from, or we were relying on unnamed and anonymous sources. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. According to an unnamed source, Tarek has been happily keeping his mind off his ex's relationship as much as possible since their split. Recently, made all the more possible by the distractions of planning an engagement and a wedding with his fiancee. Her name's Heather, but per this account, Tarek doesn't exactly sound indifferent to Christina. It sounds like he's created very specific boundaries on what he wants their relationship to look like. I think that was a long paragraph that basically said that he doesn't care. He's trying to ignore it. That's what I think. That's how I read it. So, they could really use this to their advantage on their show. Because basically they're reality TV stars. You want to call them stars? They're reality TV people. Now there's going to be all the speculation. Are they going to get back together? This and that. They could create this whole love triangle, do the show. It would sell. Sadly enough, it would. Moving along. So, folks, we had talked about in the past, what's her name? The brunette. She's a little older. She's like in her 50s. And she's always on the internet in a bikini. The British lady. Jeez. Wow. I would forget now. But another lady who fits that same kind of internet link that you come across is Salma Hayek recently. So on Yahoo, almost weekly for sure, Salma Hayek is featured as clickbait for something. Okay? In most cases, it has nothing to do with being an actress or anything really that's really newsworthy, I guess. But so here on Yahoo Entertainment, Salma Hayek posts revealing pregnancy throwback photo to celebrate daughter's 13th birthday. And then they put a photo of her. Nice. And then they have the photo. We're going to put it up. I hope it doesn't, Facebook lets me put this up because it's one of those, naked where they're doing this. They cover their breasts, but they show the stomach kind of photo. You'll see. I don't even describe it. I'm going to put the photo up. She's wearing white. It's all white background windows, sheer windows, coverings and stuff. So it's nice. 896,669 people like this at the time that they took the screenshot to put it on Yahoo. So it's probably more by now. Is this Instagram? I think this is an Instagram post. I'm on Instagram, but I just see what they call normies. That's normal people. I don't follow any celebrities. So I guess I never see any of their photos. So here's another. She posted another photo. See, it must be nice. If you're a beautiful person and you have all these photos of yourself when you were young, it would be nice to, if I can't imagine being 50 years old and uploading photos of myself on Instagram when I was, 30 or something. Like this reliving the dream, I guess. Hey, she's getting likes. So she posted another photo from 1999, which is 20 years ago. She's probably in her early 30s in this photo. Looking nice. This one has 728,000 likes. So it's like a little assembly line. They know what to do. So I wonder if she calls Yahoo or they're talking to her publicist. They're like, listen, send us some photos. We're going to put them up, write a little article about it. Clickbait. Win-win for everybody. Except for me and you who waste your time. But I guess not. It's like really, this is the new magazine in the doctor's office. You look at your phone and then you need to look at something so Salma Hayek's there. Moving along. Let's get into something. I got two articles here. One's terrible, not terrible. What's the word? bad news, and then the other one is a more uplifting, feeling good news. So we're gonna do the good one first, and then we'll lead into some other stuff. So, billionaire, never heard of the guy, Chuck Feeney. So, but he's on the internet. Has finally given away his entire eight. He's given away $8 billion after making secret donations for decades. Let's see here. So he's the Irish American billionaire reached his lifetime ambition of giving away his entire $8 billion this week. Surely he had to keep some money. He's not dead, so he had to keep something. Feeney has been making secret donations to charities, universities, institutions worldwide under his foundation, Atlantic Philanthropies. For decades. On Monday, the philanthropist signed the documents making the end of his foundation, which was first set up in 1982. Says, we learned a lot. We would do some things differently, but I am very satisfied. The former billionaire lives with his wife in a small rented apartment in San Francisco. Now, you see, folks, it happens. Many of these things that go on when you look at hospitals, you look at museums, the only reason these things exist is because of rich people like this guy giving them money. That's how it works. And I think it works better that way. Let's see here. After 38 years, so this is his lifetime goal. I'm trying to see here. He's 89 years old and in poor health. So that's really one of the other things. So maybe. Speaking from San Francisco, the former billionaire said he was very happy with completing this on my watch. So yeah, he wanted to get rid of it while he was still alive. Well, good, folks. So you see, here it is. He said around $2 million for his retirement plans. Imagine you had $8 billion and he's only keeping $2 million. That's insane. He basically gave it all away. He can say that if you're only keeping $2 million out of $8 billion. Chuck Feeney, folks. I'll put a photo. Look him up. I think, what was his name? Is it Bill Gates who has this giving pledge? And on that, I think the pledge is to give away 75% of your wealth. These billionaires sign up to try to, give all this money away. So we'll see if they can or if they will. This guy did. So he's the example. They should all be looking to him. Hey, how'd you do it? I want to know. I could tell him how to give away $8 billion. I could do it. Now on to the bad news, guys. A horrific act of violence going on all over our country, folks. Rochester, New York grieves. And I'm bringing this up because I want to make a couple points about this. Because it's kind of upsetting. Because I just can't understand how this happens. The level of, the mentality of this. So 2 students were killed in a mass shooting that injured 14 others. So they're just at a house party. There was apparently like almost 100 people there. It's midnight. And up to 40 rounds of probably pistol fire is let off. There's some beef. They're beefing and they pull out their guns and they start having a shootout. And my question is if you go into parties, I guess if that's who you hang out with, then that's just who you hang out with. But if the party you go to, if you suspect that people there are going to have guns, I wouldn't go. I'm not going anywhere where I think people are going to be carrying guns on their person. I'm not going there. And I bet some of the people who are at this party, they know when people show up, if those people might be carrying guns. And that's when you leave, right? Because who wants to get shot? I don't get it. I don't understand how that works out. But, I guess I'm privileged and I don't go to parties where people get shot. Moving on. This one's actually going to be kind of funny. You know what? Let's get into Dak Prescott. And this is kind of local, folks, because here we're in Texas. I just wanted to say about Dak that he played very well. Early on, not so much. He did have a turnover, but He played well, and they didn't lose because of him. He played well enough at the end. They got lucky, and that's the thing. Sometimes you got to get lucky. They didn't get it. They could have won last week, and they could have lost this week, but they didn't. They came back. They got lucky when you need to be, and they won. So good for him. The other thing that's encouraging about Dak in this game was he was fairly accurate. He looked like a passer. He looked the part. He was had control, moving, pocket presence. And what's encouraging is that I've been watching him for 4 years now. Actually longer, because I was watching him while he was at Mississippi State. So I've been watching him play for a long time. And he's better. I mean, he's been improving. And I think I had this, somebody just driving past my office, basing it hard. Okay, so there it is again. That's insane. You don't hear that very often. Okay, so Dak Prescott improving. So today I see noticeable improvements. He played well. So I'm just thinking he's getting better. And sometimes you feel like that at some point this is as good as you get. You're already a pro athlete for a while now. You should just be this good. But I think in the NFL at this level, especially in quarterbacks, they can get better and better. So I think he still has he hasn't reached his full potential. There it is again. Folks, I'm going to take a quick, short break. I got to check this out, see what's going on out here. When we get back, we are going to talk about UFC and one of their athletes named Colby Covington, because I saw something on the internet today. I know of him, but I'm going to explain it to y'all. It's pretty funny. It involves a LeBron James, so it kind of has something for everybody. So when I get back, till then, I'm back, folks, from our break. Jamin's Daily, episode 21, is brought to you by Sage Choice Insurance Agency. Give us a call. 361-400-2411. Go to quotefromjamin.com. It's an easy way. You can do it from your smartphone, from your desktop. Quotefromjamin.com. Get a quick home and auto quote, or just a home, or just an auto. Or you can also call us at 361-400-2411. Sage Choice Insurance. So, guys, I realized it's dark outside, so I kind of looked out the window and couldn't see who's basing, bumping the jams at 8:16 at night. But LeBron James, I'm old enough to remember so I'm 37, so I can remember still in my teenage years was like pre-cell phone, pre-internet kind of stuff. And so the comparison I'm going to make is to Michael Jordan, because back then he couldn't just say something, have an opinion on something, and then just tweet it out. He'd have to put it out through his publicist or somebody had to be interviewing him or something like this. So LeBron James is living in this different era, and he likes to talk, or he has an opinion. And the thing is, the media covers his opinion very closely. And I'm sure he likes that as well. So LeBron James, there's a link on the internet that says that he reacts to Lori Loughlin, Aunt Becky from Full House. We've talked about that here on Jamin's Daily. So apparently, she got sentenced, so she's going to jail. And apparently, she was given an option to select a particular prison to go to. And so LeBron James, feels like he has to opine on that. What does this have anything to do with him? Okay? But he gets into it because he's, a soldier in the social justice SJW brigade for sure. And he went on to say, we'll just keep pushing forward and not expecting the handouts. Strong, black, and powerful. That was the tweet he said after. He goes, I'm laughing because sometimes you just have to, just to stop from crying. Don't make no damn sense to me. We just want the same treatment if committed of the same crime. That's all. Well, this doesn't. The fact of the matter is, these are celebrities. Other people who got caught in this admission scandal, I'm not sure if any of them were black. I don't know the ethnicities. I'm not sure if any of them were black. Most of them got similar time and things like that. But he's talking about the examples in which you get one, same crime in different, that's up to the judge. That's part of the system. So yes, I see the point he's trying to make. But in this one, this Lori Loughlin, it's just really, she did a white collar crime. She's going to go to this white collar little prison thing. She's probably going to be there for a couple of months and then she's going to be out, right? She's not going to like San Quentin in California with, general public. That's not how it works. I mean, I don't think it has more to do with, yes, having money, not because she's white. But anyways, who knows? But so here's LeBron talking about Lori Loughlin's, where she's going to go to prison and how it relates to social justice. And so he tweets it out. Never, good for him. Good for him. But Michael Jordan never did that because he couldn't. Would he have done that? Who knows? I don't know if he's ever talked about that because he still could. He's still almost as popular as ever. He still could be very active on that, and he's not. I think it's a generational thing. But last night there was a UFC fight, and there's an athlete on the roster named Colby Covington, and with the success of Conor McGregor, a lot of these fighters, some of them can get away with just, obviously you have to be a great athlete and fighter to win and to be popular. But to go to the next level, to make money, to sell pay-per-views, you have to have something in addition to that. And so everyone tries to find the secret sauce, what's going to work, what isn't. And so this Colby Covington has created this little, kind of a character. He plays it up. And he's a big Trump supporter. He wears the MAGA hat, all that. And he fought last night, and he won. And so when he's doing the post-fight interview, he grabs the mic and he's like, I want to dedicate this to all the first responders because they're the true heroes. And then he calls out LeBron, all right? So he says, they're the true heroes, not these woke athletes, and then, not these woke athletes like LeBron James. So, he called him a coward. He goes, the first responders, the police, they're the heroes, not these woke athletes like the coward LeBron James. So he called him out, put him on blast. Lots of people watch the UFC. So I haven't. Maybe by the time I edit this, I might be able to see if LeBron James had some kind of reaction. Maybe we can put it on the screen. And let me know. Send me a text. You can text. No, not a text. We're not doing text now. We're still doing emails. And in the last episode, I was talking about how no one sent me an email. And how I'm actually going to have to be changing my email, possibly. But I still got to put it out there because this is just part of training. I still feel like I'm 21 episodes in, but we're still getting, the best is yet to come. That's what I tell y'all because, we're still getting better. So send me an email, jaminsdaily@gmail.com. Let me know what you think about the athletes and their tweets and LeBron James. If you know anything about Colby Covington and his little shtick, he actually got a phone call after winning. He got a phone call from Donald Trump while he was doing an ESPN interview. The phone comes and he's like, POTUS is calling me. And so he gets it on, he puts it on speaker. And it's funny because the ESPN, because this is live, I think. The ESPN interviewer is like, you make sure you tell him it's on speaker. You let him know it's on speaker, which he never did. I mean, it was just a completely unedited moment. Donald Trump could have lay down some F bombs. He could have said anything. And I don't know if he knew that he was actually on ESPN at the moment. So it ended up being great. It was a straightforward conversation, and he didn't say anything crazy. So it worked out for everybody, I guess. Moving along to close, I think we're trying to do 30 minutes today, trying to get the episode count up and keep some consistency so we can keep an audience, folks. And we're also going to start trying to increase our distribution so we have other avenues in addition to iTunes, where you can find us, or directly at podbean.com. I think I'm going to put that up on the episodes as well. We're going to do Spotify, iHeartRadio. So I'm hoping to get the downloads up, the views up. So I'll keep y'all updated. Keep y'all updated. Y'all can send me, go to my Facebook and you can give us a like, or you can put a comment on our Facebook directly on the wall, right on the wall. Tell us whatever you want. I think we're going to get so desperate. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a prize. Like the first person to put a comment on my Facebook is going to get a free t-shirt or something. Okay. That's going to happen. If I don't get it organically. All right. Sometimes, hey, you got to hustle. So I'll make it happen. So this week I'm going to be thinking about, I need to go find a t-shirt or something that I can bribe my audience to go on my Facebook and write on my wall, or send me an email or something. Lastly, folks, to end the episode 21, we're just trying to find something here that might be the right amount of entertainment and enlightenment. And I see something here right now. I'm just kind of like dragging time right now, folks, to be honest, because I'm really not seeing much at all. And you realize when you look at your phone, we can just ramble here, folks. When you look at your phone and you're killing time, so you're in line somewhere, you're at the bank and you're in line, or you're wherever, and you're looking at all these different links. Imagine you're looking at the links and trying to find one that is interesting enough to talk about in real time. That's what I'm doing right now, because I was busy all week and weekend with my kids, so I didn't really have a lot of show prep, but I wanted to get on the mic, just lay it down. So I found something here. I think something that we've talked about and that people still know about, the whole Epstein, he didn't kill himself. Nobody thinks Epstein killed himself. And he had this madame, or madam. He had a madam, this lady named Ghislaine Maxwell. We'll get some photos up again. Well, apparently there's some more photos. She was photoed with Trump. She was photoed with other celebrities. And now there's even more coming out. There's one here where she's sitting next to Naomi Campbell. There's another one where she's like right behind Elon Musk. She's sitting next to Mick Jagger, like at the same table, like literally sitting next to him. There's a photo with her. Holy smoke, she's there with Ariana Huffington. Our woke moments that we have, folks? That website, HuffPost, the Huffington Post, was this lady's website. I think it's Adriana Huffington is her name. And there's another lady to the right of her. So this is a photo of three people. We'll put it up. So she's in the photo with this lady. Now she's in a photo and she's talking to, I think that is, he's a British personality, maybe. What's his name? We'll put it up there. Here she's with I can't remember this guy. He's known for tanning. What was his name? Why don't they have the names on here? But another one. So apparently People Magazine, I think it is going to put out some more photos of this lady with a whole bunch of celebrities. So, what do you think? How is it? Is this the conspiracy theories want you to believe that like the rich and the famous are all into this um, sexual impropriety, young children, who kind of stuff. I don't believe it. But is this good? To me, this Epstein guy must have been. It's hard to say anything nice about him because then you're gonna get accused of being dumb. Okay, so I don't want to say anything but nice about him. But when you're loaded, you're super rich, you can get into these parties, and then you make friends like normal people do. You become people like you. Oh, he's funny, and he happens to have like $300 million. So those the types of friends that are like, hey, do you want to come to my island? We'll leave on a private jet. We'll stay for a week, and then we'll come back. You know, you make a lot of friends when you can do that. So the Epstein and then his gal pal, this Ghislaine Maxwell, you know, they're actually hanging out with these people. The rich and the famous. This a tidbit, a little factoid of this Ghislaine Maxwell was that she was a legitimate Olympic level social marathoner. Is what they're saying. Ghislaine was at literally every lit candle in New York City and the Hamptons, both public and private. If there was a red velvet rope, she was there. She was at art openings, movie screenings, book parties at the Four Seasons. So she's a social climber. So that's another reason why she was everywhere. So she's just like one of these people who gets photos with celebrities, but just maybe a little bit better at it. And here's the thing too. So this lady was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding. Okay. How do you? So Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, their daughter Chelsea Clinton. So she gets married. How many guests do you think they had? 500? 1,000 maybe? I don't know how big the wedding was. But it is kind of cool going to a wedding where like heads of state and people like that are going to be. Imagine if you're on that guest list. She was. So this kind of goes to show again who we're dealing with. And there we have it, folks. Episode 21 of Jamin's Daily. Jamin's take on just random things on the internet. The Cowboys, Ghislaine Maxwell, Dr. Dre and his divorce. It goes on and on. So we're going to keep bringing these to you. Episode 22, I think I'm going to do it tomorrow. Post it. Then 23, post it. Going to try to just... The goal is to hit 50 because I'm ready to start the YouTube channel. And that was a promise or a goal I made to myself was we're not doing that until we hit 50 episodes. Okay? So I'm going to find some going to try to do some new things, switch it up this week as we were trying to put out an episode every single day. So stick with us because the best is yet to come.